Follow the channel and stay tuned for learning videos.
So yesterday we have seen what is solution, what is publisher, how do we create the new components, how do we customize it, right? So today we will go a little deeper from creating a new tables, customizing the forms, designing the forms, everything we will see. Okay. So how do we navigate to Maker portal? We have to click on this gear symbol. We need to go to advanced settings. It will land in the Power Platform Environment Settings app. Then in the solutions, we have to click on solutions. It will open make.powerapps.com. So you need to make sure like whatever the environment you opened, the maker portal is opening with the same environment, because in the real time you will be having access to multiple environments, right? So make sure like you are in a correct environment. This is the environment name. Okay. Now, so we have created yesterday day one customizations. We just seen how to modify the label for existing thing, and we have created some another table, right? Like that. So today we will be going little deeper there, how to create table. We will create tables again, and we will the customizing the forms. We will be creating the things, everything. Okay. Now let me create one more new solution. I'm select my publisher. Okay, so this is the empty solution. I don't have nothing. So I'm gonna create a new table. Okay, so yesterday we went from here, click on table. Yesterday we tried with tables, advanced properties. Yesterday we tried with the first option, right? Tables. Now today we will be trying with the advanced properties. What we could see. Okay. Now if you see, this is the display name. What we need to give for table. So let's give the trainings. So here it is asking to enable attachments including notes. Suppose whatever the table you are creating, do you need to maintain the attachments for that table? If yes, you have to select this enable attachments. Otherwise, you don't need to. So whenever you enable these attachments, you will get a timeline in the table. Similarly, like this, if you see here, for the case attachments is enabled, so here you will be having the timeline section. So in the timeline section you can add the note, you can add the comment, like this everything will be there. So notes will be added. Okay, so to if you need that one, you have to enable this. So let's add this as well. Trainings standard. And if you see, there are different types of entities will be available. One is the standard entity, that is a normal table which will store the column row values. The next one is activity. Now if you see, activity means kind of email, task, phone call. Now if you see under this, all these are kind of activity tables. So in this activity tables, what we will have, basically we will have the sender information, reminder, like that. Activity related, similar to email. So email, what email will have? Email will have from address to address, CC, like that, right? So similarly, this activity entities will have that kind of behavior. So whereas regular entity, it won't have that the default fields. Okay. So we will create that entity as well. For now, we are creating standard. Now we will have the virtual elastic. So virtual is like to connect any external system table and you want to use it here. So ideally, the table is not present in the CRM. Still, you are connected to some external data source and using it. So that is the virtual. Elastic is like if you want to have it's a kind of a int long integer. So both will purpose same purpose, but it will have the capacity will be more. Okay. So elastic we won't be used anytime. Mostly we will be using standard activity virtual. Okay. And if you see record ownership, user or team. So yesterday we have created a customer location. If you open the record, you see like owner, right? So basically to assign to have the record with anyone like ownership, in that scenarios we will be having user or team. Suppose if you want to have this record to entire organization, you will be keeping the organization. So if you create a table with organization record ownership, the owner field won't be there. It will be available for anyone who has the security roles. Whereas if you have owner, this record will be available to particular that owner only. He can have the complete control. Okay, did you understand what you mean by ownership? Okay. Now we have some other settings, audit changes, tweets data, track changes, leverage quick counts. We will see all this slowly. Okay. So right now I'm not selecting anything. So yesterday we have created a table with Copilot. Today we are creating manually. So you need to figure it out how it's behaving different. So here in the manual creation you have to selecting everything. Whereas in the Copilot you need to give a prompt. How to what are the details you need. Okay. Now if you see a table is created, whenever a table is created, by default we will get the out of the box columns, we will get the out of the box forms, we will get the out of the box views. Remaining everything will be blank. Okay. Now what we gonna learn today? So we gonna learn form designing. Okay. So by default we will be getting the three types of forms. One is main form, the other one is card form, and the other one is quick view. Okay. The main form basically will be used for the to use it in the laptops to have it a for a record. Suppose if you see yesterday we have created customer location. So in the main form will be if you open this customer location record, it will be by default it will be using this only. Okay. Now this the next one is card form. Suppose if you want to display this record in a some other entity view. In that scenarios, we will be using card form, and we will have one more type quick view also. We will explore all these one by one. So let me start with main. So if you click on main, by default you will be having only name column. As this is a custom entity, there won't be any design. You have to design it from scratch. If you see new trainings is there, it is having only name. So these are the fields available for the available so far. Okay. So let me save and publish. We will add this table to the sitemap as well to see it here. Okay. Any questions so far?
No, no.
So how to add to sitemap? We have to go to all, add existing, sitemap. For every app, we will be having a sitemap. You have to open respective Copilot service workspace. Add that. Once you open that one, so in this Copilot service workspace, I have to add my own, right? So yesterday we have added customer locations here, but today I want to create a new area itself. So we have only service area, right? So I want to have a separate area. So in that scenario, you have to create your new area. So if you see, you have this entire in the sitemap enter this one will call as a area. Okay. Now we are going to create a new area. So you can give your own name by practice. You can give any name. I'm just giving some fluke names. So within my practice, you want to create, sorry, you want to create the components, right? So you have to create groups. So like, let me keep day 2. Then under this day to work on, you have to create a one more sub area where you will be adding the entities, dashboards, everything. So right now we will go with entities only. The remaining we will be adding later. So what's our entity name? Trainings, right? Look for it. So just save your changes. So once you are save your changes to reflect it everywhere to reflect in the CRM, you have to do the publish. So publish is in like kind of a like deploying indirectly. So whatever the changes you are making, if you want to reflect in the CRM, you need to do the deployment, right? So within the environment, publishing is kind of a deployment. Now, once you done this, what you need to do, you can try one more publish here. If you refresh here, you should be able to see the new area, right? Let's try to refresh it. It's not so. If you don't appear, what should we do in general? We have to click on more tools, developer tools, right click on this reload, empty cache, hot reload. So it will get the latest changes from the server. Now if you see earlier we have only service, now we have a two my practice service. So under my practice we have a new group, new sub area. So like this we will be customizing the sitemap areas as well. We will be adding whatever the entities we need. Okay, now so basically to know more about form, why form will be used. Can you tell anyone, Gasim? So what do you mean by form CRM in the CRM? So form is basically for the CRM we have UI, right? So form will be placing major role to show a data of a record, data of a table row. Okay, so new trainings will be a new one table, right? In this table, if you want to show a record, it will be displaying through form only. If you want to update something from form only, you will be updating it, right? So form will be the user interface for show or updating the CRM record information. Okay, it could be any entity. For every entity, we will have forms. So to see it in the UI. So basically, it's a kind of screen where we will see the data, where we will enter the data like that. Okay. So now we don't have anything now. So now we want to customize the form. What are the ways, how many ways we can customize everything we will see. Okay, let's go back to our solution from maker portal, go to tables, expand trainings and forms. So for every entity there will be main form. We will be working on that main form only. Okay, by default this will be the form we will be having. Now if you see within a form, suppose if we want to add everything here, you have to just click on this field, and if you enter, it will be added automatically. Okay, or you can drag and drop. So like this, we will be adding the columns from the table. So right now we have these many columns, all are out of the box. I am adding everything here. Okay. So right now I have kept everything. So if you see show only unused table columns. So I just added randomly whatever the fields there are available by default to the here. Now if you see, if you save and to publish, earlier we will have only one. Now we will be getting everything, right? So in general real-time scenarios, we can't, if you have 100 fields, you can't add 100 fields into this place, right? You will be using some segregation, some grouping. Suppose if you have trainings table, so in the training table you will be having the training data, what is the training details and what is the training duration. Like the training details you will be maintaining somewhere, and the trainer details you will be maintaining somewhere, right? So to have that kind of segregations, we will be using the tabs and sections. So basically, tabs and sections are like a containers or grouping. Okay, let me show it. So if you see, right now we have added everything here in the general. So the general is a tab here. Okay, if you see, everything is added here, created by, created on, modified by, everything. Okay, so this whatever you see at general, this is a tab. So if you want to have entire information into a single group, we will be go with a general tab. But in the general tab, we don't want to have like that, right? Suppose if you see case, what we have for case, we have for multiple tabs, right? So you have details tab here, you have sections like that, right? So in the real time also, we will be having the segregations of the fields. You will be grouping the fields for the easy purpose to having a neat UI, everything like that you will designing, right? So like that we will be segregating. So how do we create tabs? So if you click from here, you will have component. Okay. So in that here you will be having the tabs types, one column tab, two column tab, one column section, two column section, quick view, subgrid, timeline, everything. So let's explore each one. So I'm adding one column tab. So you need to find the difference. What do you mean by one column tab? What do you mean by two column tab? So it is, if you see the section, everything will be expanded into full screen. So that is one column tab. If you see here for the CRM record, if you see the section is name is expanded until full, right? So this is the single tab section. Okay, single tab, one column tab. So whenever you add any field, so I want to move this created by to this one. Okay, so you can simply drag and drop like this. You will be adding this. So you have to give them some meaningful name, some meaningful section name here. Okay, so for that one we will be adding like created by details. Okay, so here I am just adding created details. So if I want to add one more column section, if we want to make it by person, if I want to rename the sections as well by person, so you can add like this. Now I want to add the created on the timestamp when record is created in the created details tab, but I don't want to have it in the same section. I want to have it in a different section. So in that scenario, what you will be creating, you will be adding one more column section here. If you click on this one, a new section will be added here. If you want to maintain by person on time. So here now you want to move this creator into that particular section. Okay, now what you see, you need to find the difference. Okay, so what we created earlier, we have only single general tab where we kept all our fields. Now we created one more tab and we have grouped created by column with person section, created on with time sum section, just for segregating purpose. Now just feel the difference here. So new tab is added, created details. So here you have a created by person by timestamp. Like that section will be displayed. So section will have this kind of box and grouping. Okay. So if you see, as we created a one column section, the entire this field is expanded entire screen, right? This is unnecessary time waste. You are having information max it this. Still it is using the entire screen. So this is an unnecessary, it's a kind of wrong design, right? So in such scenarios, what we will be doing, we will be creating a two column tabs. So within the two column tab, we will keeping the sections. Okay. Let's create one more two column tab. So where we will have the modified details. So within this section, to want to make use of screen, what you will be doing, you will be adding two column section like this. So simply you can drag and drop. So let's add modified by. So now if you see earlier, whenever you are adding, it is expanding entire screen. Now it is splitting by two. Okay. So what do you mean by? So now you will have a off. Okay. Let's see what it is. Full details. Full modified details. So here I'm having modified on. Similarly, I'm just putting modified here only. So here I can have, if you want to have empty section, you can have, otherwise you can simply select it, delete it from here. So like this, we will delete the sections tabs from this delete button. Both have same. See, control, let's try to delete, hide it from here itself. Save and publish. Able to follow me? A challenge, Sanjay. Now I just refreshing my CRM screen to see my changes. So what we did, we have created one more tab. It's not yet reflected. What you need to do, you have to do a this empty caching hot reload. So now we have modified details. So if you closely observe, earlier we have the full screen. Okay. Now if you see within the full screen, two we have created two column tab, right? So it is split into two. Within the two column tab, again we split it into two sections, right? Like this. the behavior will change. Okay, suppose if you want to have it in an entire thing in a single tab, I want to have some groupings like this, we will be approaching, we will be modifying like this. Okay, now we just created the, what kind of, we just created the timeline attachments, right? So how to add timeline as well, we will see. Okay, so for that one I'm just creating one more tab, one column tab. Attachments and files. Okay, so I'm just like section uploaded by customer. So here I want to add attachment section, right? So from where do we add? So we have seen only one column tab, two column, one column section, two column section. If you see just below it, you have view, have subgrid, you have timeline. So timeline provides a overview of historical new activities, notes, posts, everything, right? So this one you have to add it. You can drag and drop, or you can just double click on it, it will be added. Okay. Once you add it, you can just click on save and publish. That will appear.
So two column tab means by default it will be separated into two sections by default.
Yes, yes, like
Okay, okay,
this. So two column tab means in the single tab you will have two sections. In
okay,
one section, if you want to have single section, two section, that is your wish.
okay, okay.
We will try with that scenario as well. So now, so what we did, we just created one more timeline, right? So if you want to see that, you just refresh it. The new timeline tab will be displaying here. Now it will be attachments is there, right? Modified attachment files. Here you have the full uploaded by customer. You have the timeline entire. So here you can add the notes. If you want to upload any file, also you can upload. So first file upload. So here you will be giving the note, and if you want to upload any document, you will be selecting this add an attachment, and you will be adding. Okay, save it. So this will be added. Now if you see, once you added, you will be having this like this. Who is it not modified by? What is the details? You can see like this. Getting. So this is about adding timeline. Now if you see what are the other things we have kick view, we have subgrid, we have spacer. So spacer, basically if you want to use some space, suppose you have two different sections, let's assume. So you have name, you have created by this status region. So you want to have the status region in the below. So how do? You will be clicking on selecting this field, you will be using arrows, or you will be using mouse to move, drag and drop. Okay, so like this. Now we have created by delegate, modified delegate, but I don't want to, I want to have some space in between these. So in that scenarios you will be using spacer, so that will create some empty space. Okay, we will just run publish. So basically space will be used. If you see here in the general, you have it is continuously, right? But you want to segregate status as reason with created by, modified by. Now in that scenarios, we will be doing adding the spacer control. We will be include some empty space in the screen. So for that, if you want to, while designing, sometimes we need a different requirement, right? So for that, so for the design capability they are giving. So if you see, created by is modified by separated by some blank spaces. Like that, we can use the spaces. And the next thing what we need to learn, quick view. So by default, whenever we are creating a form, we could see like for every entity, one quick view is appearing, right? So basically, quick view will be used for the to show another table data. Suppose you are on the training entity and you want to show some who modified it. You want to see the name of the who modified it. Okay. In such scenarios, you will be using quick views. So right now, if you by default in the modified details, you are seeing only LT admin. You are unable to see his email. You want to see his email address too without opening this record. If you open this record, obviously you can see his entire record information. What is the user? What is the first name, last name? What is the primary email? But without opening the record, you want to see the that information here itself. Okay. So in that scenarios, we will be using the quick views. So if you see here, add a quick view. So it will ask to select the quick view form. So for training entity also by default one form is created, right? Similarly, for every table we will be having some default form. Main form will be there, card form will be there, quick view form will be there. Okay. Now I want to see modified details, right? Modified. Use hierarchy tile form. Some default form is there. Let's see what it will display. So I'm just adding it. Now, in this section, you have title, business unit, primary email, phone number, first name, last name. Some good information is there. So let's see how it behaves. Modified by. So what will happen now? Under modified details, we have two tab section, right? Two column tab, right? So earlier we added this part. Now we are adding this as well. So within a single screen, you will be having two column tabs. Within the single column, you will have one side two column section. Other side you will having a quick view. Okay, let's get the changes. Now go to modified details. Now if you see, this is modified details. This is a quick view. So if you open any other field, you are able to edit it. But here in the modified details, this is showing kind of in a box and everything is locked because the information it is coming from another table. You can't directly edit here. Quick view, it is for only viewing. You can't update any changes. Suppose if you want to update anything for this table, you have to go to this record. So LT admin have the it is a source right for showing the data. So you have to modify here. So suppose I want to make some change here. Save it. Also you want to fill so something like see if you see that data is reflecting, but you can't edit it here. So the quick view basically to see the respective entity, either it could be modified or whatever the table you select there, it will be. So it will be used to display other entity information on the current entity. This is the current entity. What is the other entity? User, right? So basically to display the user information, we will be adding here. But you can't edit it from here. If you want to edit anything here, you have to go to the respective table. You have to update it. Okay. Any questions?
So why it's coming in the right side?
Because we have added in the right now. So where did you add it? So basically, whenever you are adding two column tab, two columns are coming. Let me show you. So if you are adding two column tab again, two automatically two are coming. If you see, this is the left side, this is the right side.
Okay, okay.
As
Oh,
it can't show in a single thing, it is showing by below.
okay, okay.
So test, I will say test two column. This is the first one, right? So I don't give any right or left. Just see how it will behave. So it will give two. Save and publish. So under new tab, you should get two sections, right? So these are not below. These are not up and below. These are like side by side.
Okay, okay.
Getting.
Yes.
So within this, if you want to have a single column section, double column section, again that is your wish.
Okay.
Let me open. As you don't have any fields, it's not showing. Let me add some fields created by delegate. I will move here. So by default, if you don't add, if you don't select any section, it will take one column section. If you want to control two column section, you have to explicitly add two column section. Sorry, you have selected two column section. So I will add the fields again. Section is empty. So you just see the from what we are doing, we will show only unused. So everything used because I'm unchecking. So all the fields are appearing again. So you need to observe everything what we are doing, where we are clicking, the navigation. You should make sure. Okay. Now if you see, just play with it. So you, after that, whenever you're practicing, try. It's our own environments only, right? You can add however you want to explore. So click on new tab section. Now if you see, this is like this you added now. Now if you see, this is one column section. So you have entire this will be split into one. Again you have, if you added two column section, it will be like this. It will be split into by two. Understood?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's not like a top and below. It's like a side by side.
Okay.
Now in the components we have seen one column tab, two column tab, one column section, two column section. We have seen quick view, and we have also have subgrid. Now, basically, in the quick view, what you are able to see, you are able to see a single record, right? Another table. So basically, in the any real-time world, if you want to work with any data, by default, we will be having some main data. For that, you will have some child data. Suppose if you take parent. he will have child. So in the parent table, you will have some information. For that child, you will be having some other information, right? So whatever the real-time data you take, it will have the relations between, again, in the across the tables. Suppose parent and child, we will have one kind of relationship. Again, parent, child and grandfather, we will have one kind of relationship. Like child and toys, one kind of relationship. Like that, you will be having child and class sections. Like that, we'll have, if you consider anything, we will have some correlation, right? So everything we will be maintained here in the CRM as well. So to see the another entity, a single record, we will be using quick view. To see multiple records, related records, if we have proper relationship, that time we will be using the subgrid. Okay. Let me create one more tab for it. Or let me use, what is that? Notes. Where is the notes? Attachment files. Delete this tab to make it. So in the attachment section, I want to add a subgrid. So here again, here these are the entities eligible for showing in the subgrid views. So right now, what we can select, let's select nodes only. Default view, all nodes. So whenever you added nodes, the subgrid control will be displayed like this. LG control, last like this. Okay. So in general, what we will be used, we won't show all nodes. We will be using the view like that. It will show the respective records only. For the testing normal purpose, we just created the all views, all nodes. Okay. Now if you go back here, refresh it. So first you have timeline. This is timeline. Then you have the, see, this is the subgrid view basically. So in the subgrid, you will be having the title, description, type, modified by. So it is same kind of information here, but it's showing in a different way, right? So like this, if you have multiple records, it will appear like this. So node content can just add, or you can create it from timeline again. Second one. If you go down, it will have one more record. Second one. So like this, to see multiple records of another table information here, we will be using trainings. So these trainings and nodes should have the 1:n relationship. Means for one training record, you can have n nodes. Like that. So whatever the tables have 1:n, those only appear here. If you see, while adding the subgrid, by default it is showing some tables, right? Everything is a table here. Bulk delete failures, that is a table. Duplicate records, that is a table. So nodes is a table. So what does that mean? The tables which have one is to in a relationship, they can be added to the subgrid. Suppose if you don't have one is to n, you have n is to one, means you have a single record which is relationship, right? So for that purpose, we will be using the quick view like this, modified my own details. So here it can show only one record, right? When in list one means only one can you. For n records, you have a single record. So you have to show single record information, right? So in such scenarios, we will be using the quick view. If you want to show multiple records, you will be using the subgrid. Any questions in understanding quick view and subgrid? Why do we use subgrid? Why do we use quick view? Okay. So if you see under popular, we have layout, we have three column layout also, three column tab. So how does it means? So three column tab means this entire section will be divided into three parts. Within that three parts, you can have one column, two column like that. Okay. And you have tabbed section. This is one kind of, and you have grid, subgrid we have seen. Editable grid is duplicated. So we just now we have seen like that. If you want to add calendar, you can add calendar. So if you want to add canvas app, so this is the model driven app, right? If you want to add any external canvas app also, you can add it here directly. If you want to add external website, so you can mention it here. If you want to add any HTML web resource, you will be adding. So everything, just try to explore it. You will understand more. Okay, we have seen quick view, record summary. Record summary means for the case we have the case summary, right? Similarly, we can add a record summary section. So everything is a kind of component here. You have to try it and explore. So all the design components will be available in the components. Here you can see everything, relationship health, the sequence. These are kind of ways we can customize the UI. Okay, you have checkbox, you have form, number input, pen input. Pen input will be suppose if you want to give signature kind of thing like this, rich texture controller, star rating. If you want to have a toggle like this, so everything these are kind of a fields only. Whatever you create, table column for which table column you want to have it, you should have a proper column. As we haven't created new columns today, you won't be. Star rating. So select the table column for which table, for each table column you want to have a this kind of star. So you can select a single star, two star, five star like that. For surveys feedback, we will be using stars, right? Like that. So you can have a toggle. So if you have toggle, if you select toggle, you have to use some column, boolean field, which can take only two or true or false, right? Like that. Like this, you will having different components will be there, we can use it. Any questions in the form design so far? Did you understand what I mean by main form, what I mean by quick form?
Yes, Harish. But for the relationship between the two tables, it's better to we create two tables and relate it to each other.
Yes,
So it will be
that's
better.
I will see in next class actually, that will be.
Okay.
So if you see, today we just started with the new table, we have seen forms. Tomorrow we will be seeing columns, then relationships. So for each thing we will be go deeper. So today we will go deeper into forms, right? Form designing. So tomorrow we'll be creating what types of columns, and we will be keeping on the form, we will be designing the form, then we will be going to relationships like that. Okay. So
Okay.
under table we have these many components. We just started with forms today. Okay. Any questions? Now if you see under table, if you want to modify any table properties, you can click on this trainings. If you see table properties here, if you want to change any display name, if you want to change any plural name, if you want to make any changes to the properties, whatever you have selected, you can come here and you can make changes from the table properties. Okay. From here also you could see columns, relationships, keys, forms, views, charts, customization, business rules, commands, row summary. So like this, you can control everything from its home page, training homepage like this. Otherwise, you can't to come here to columns. You can come to forms. From here also you can control. Okay. Now if you select any form, suppose I'm selecting main form. So we just customize the form. If you see, you can create a new form as well. If you don't want to use existing forms, you can create a new main form, new quick view, new card form. So like this, you will be using the forms. Okay. So also, if you see, we have one more option is gray out, quick create. So to have a quick create, what we need to have, we should have a quick create setting enabled. So on the entity level, you will be having leverage quick create form if available. So what do you mean by quick create? So without opening the quick view means without opening the record you are able to see, right? Similarly, quick create means without opening the full screen you can create a record. So if you want to create a new record, how you are doing, you are just clicking on the new. So that is opening a new tab. But if you have quick create, you don't need to open a new tab within the same screen. You will small pop-up will be opened. You will be creating a record from there. That's what quick create. So what is the difference between quick create and what is quick view? Quick view basically you prefer to show the information without opening the that record. Quick create will be also similar. Without opening the record, you can create within the current form. Getting so while creating the another table we will be using. Okay. No. Where we are? That is one. So we have enabled the setting, right? So if you go to forms again, if you click on new form, now quick create also now it's available. Okay. So like this, you can create tables, and if you see, you have form settings. So here you will be having the form order, which form order by default you want to see. So right now we have only one information because it will be showing. If you have two main forms, like second main form, so it will be creating a new form, which is the duplicate of current main form. So everything will be added whatever there in the main form. If you want to mark any changes, you can change it. You can make changes and you can use the second form as well. Okay. So whenever you create a main form, second main form, that will copy the first main form as is. Now on top of it, if you want to make any deletions, additions, you can make it and you can use the second main form. Now if you see second main form, to form type is main, you have two names. Now if you go to form settings, main form you have two sections. Similarly, if you have multiple quick views, you will be having multiple quick views like that. If you have multiple card forms, you will be having multiple. Now this is the form order. Which form order you want to display first? Now if you see, I just click on second main form, save and publish. So when you open the record, right now we don't have any forms here. That's why it is showing a single. But now I have two main forms, right? Now you need to observe the difference, how it is displaying. Now if you see second main form, and the order, which one is showing first? Main form, second main form is showing first. Suppose if you want to display first main form first, you will just set here, save and publish. So this form order will help when it is help if you have multiple forms for a single type, main type or quick type. That time it will help actually. Okay. If I refresh again, first main information form will be the on top. So form order basically to arrange the order, what order it has to display. So information is the first. Similarly, you have one more fallback form. So this concept is basically used with security roles. So you have a manager security role, you have a employee security role. So for the manager, you want to have a different form. For the employer, if you want to have a different form. So that kind of control you will be doing. So So by default, which form you want to load, like that you will be configuring here. Okay. Also, you will have form access checker. So for the what role you want to have display this, choose the role and app to be list the forms enabled. So suppose we have these many security roles for the customer service app access, customer service workspace. Choose the role and to list the forms. So in this, these are the security role, but training is a custom entity, doesn't that right? That's why it's not showing. So what I will do, if you go to case table, it will be appearing properly. We will see all this in the more with the security rules concept. Okay. Any questions? And you have advanced options. Just you have publish. If you select here in the advanced, you will have other C solution layers, manage properties table, publish solution, turn off the form, edit the form, form settings, add existing form. So all these options. So you whenever you are touching any component, you need to see what are the options you are getting. You need to explore everything like a kid. You have to click on everything, how it's behaving. You have to see everything. Okay. Now what we did, we just created form with the table with advanced properties and we have created, right? Suppose yesterday also we created a table with a copilot. Okay. Now we see we will create again with a table, and here this is the copilot screen we have. Start with copilot, import with chiplet. So yesterday we created start with pilot. We haven't given any proper. Now today I will ask you to create one more table. Create a trainer table which should consist of trainer experience, trainer skill sets, technologies, and trainer language, trainer basic information like full name, email address, number. So create a trainer table which should consist of columns and arrange them. Also create a also arrange them arrange the columns with proper meaningful user friendly UI design. So some you can give like this. Whenever you go prompt like this, it will create a table, right? So it will try to create the columns as well. So if you have a proper information, you can use Copilot. So you are unclear with what you need, then time you will be like trainer language, some auto it created one more lookup as well, one more table, trainer experience. So as if you see for single table, it is automatically creating a some records even linked records as well, generated with AI. So trainer skill set like that it is created. So if you want to, if you feel like this is okay, you can. Otherwise, if you don't want to create, you can simply remove. Like that, you can control. You can create a table from here as well. So everything, whatever the table you are creating, by default, it will be added similarly like manually created. It will have the all columns, out of the box columns. It will have the all out of the box forms like that. Okay. Now if you see earlier we used to have only table one. We it created four tables, right? Now if you see one plus four five, everything. So for trainer experience, it created a one language skill set. For everything, it created a new table. But if you want to use as is, you can approve and save. Then only it will create. If you don't want to use anything, you can just remove it. Okay. So if you click on this trainer, If you go to forms, it will have the default everything. So similarly, it will have empty name. So if you see, it has email address that is created, full name is created, phone number is created. You haven't created it, automatically created. So like that, we can leverage Copilot for creating tables at some extent. Okay. Any questions? So whenever you are creating anything, try explore all options. Don't simply create whatever I told. So for the table, you have tables, table advanced properties, virtual tables. So try these all three options. You should get some doubt. You should search for it. You should use Copilot AI. You should use ChatGPT in the browser, Gemini, and you should end with some solution answer. So within the chosen option, we have import SharePoint list, import Excel, how it is behaving if you import Excel, how it is behaving if you create a table from blank. So like that, you have to understand the behavior, everything. Okay. So we will try each one in one of our practice scenarios, but I'm expecting the same from you as well to get proper answer. Okay. Any
Okay,
questions?
Harish.
Shall on then. Thank you.